Are we about to see Stellar and XLM integrated within the government? We're going to be talking about this in a big way because we've actually been hearing a lot of discussions around blockchain being utilized for government efficiency, around tracking payments, around tracking specific things within the government as well. And I do think that now is probably one of the best times to be locked in on this and focusing on specific networks and projects that have been doing some very tremendous things around specific sectors, like, for an example, assistance payments, which Stellar is already tapped in a big way around. So with that being said, welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Nick. For those that are new to the channel, hope by the end of this video, you do become a subscriber. Now, before we really talk about the integrations within the government, I do want to address a few things happening actually around Stellar. Number one, in terms of like XLM's performance, a lot of people have been getting pretty bearish on this because of the downtrend in which we are in. In fact, we're now back to levels that we actually really haven't seen since going back to about November. And a lot of people might say, well, that's all the way back in just November. That's not that long ago. And although, yeah, it's not, the number one thing here is that it's wiping out all of the gains that we saw back in November into, of course, like the beginning of December. Now, number one, the big thing that I'm actually looking at is the overall chart here. I'm actually expecting us to have a breakout from this downtrend because so far we've just been ranging within this. We have been chopping and chopping and chopping, and we don't do this forever, okay? We've witnessed this overall pattern in the past as well. For an example, leading into the November price action, just for reference, look at the price action going all the way back to like 2023 throughout 2024 as well into the end of 2024. This entire time, it was just one massive downtrend where we were doing a very similar move. We were just kind of chopping and chopping and chopping, and everyone thought that this was never going to end until, of course, that big move to the upside. And I do think that we have a very similar situation here where, Stellar is now also just chopping in a downtrend. And a lot of people are like, well, this is never going to end. The bull market's done. It's canceled. Alt season's never going to hit. This, that, whatever. But the thing here that I'm actually focused on is the sentiment getting extremely loud in a negative way at the same exact time that we're starting to see some pretty big moves happening around crypto, like, for an example, regulatory discussions, stablecoin legislation. We also see a lot of the big players expanding rapidly, like BlackRock, for an example, with their UK office. Like, we're now starting to see a lot of great news behind the noise of all of the negativity and the bearish sentiment, which is why I do think that we're probably close to the bottom on Stellar. I'm looking at one last leg down here if we do get it, and that would be around roughly 19.5 cents, close to 19.5 cents. It's the original support going back to November that we did hit prior to that massive impulsive move into the end of November, where we did hit about 63, almost 64 cents on XLM. But outside of that, let's actually talk about a few things happening around Stellar. Number one, their 2025 roadmap recently got released on the 11th, in which they did, break down a few things. Number one, they did provide us a view on which they're trying to drive mass adoption around crypto tech, and this is through some of their initiatives. Number one is usability with Lab 3.0. This is actually providing developers, access to a lot of great sources for, smart contract development and deployment. For an example, we have lets developers invoke smart contracts as well as view contract storage specifications and source code for verified contracts, enabling faster development and innovation. And then also we do have the SDP hosted mode. So this is the Stellar Disbursement Platform's new hosted mode, allows enterprises to onboard, acquire digital assets, and start sending payments faster and more easily without the need for integration. And then down here we also have the Freighter app browser, and then also the CLI enhancements. Again, all of this is to really kind of provide more access to not only the network, but also provide more features that allows the network to expand rapidly, provide even developers with more control and access and things like that. So again, just overall great upgrades that's going to support more development activity, more access to the Stellar network through applications like, for an example, the Freighter app, because again, they're even providing you an in-depth view on the Freighter mobile app for iOS and Android. Again, just easing the adoption for users, because again, the best way to achieve mass adoption is directly through someone's phone, because how many mobile phone users are out there? Billions. But down here, we also have quarter 3, which is the ETL enhancements. Again, this is for more more analytics for users and providers with an extensible version of the Stellar data model. Updates include curated data sets for easier insights and new serialization methods for data parsing. And then, of course, we have scalability. We're aiming to increase our theoretical peak transaction throughput to 5,000 TPS by leveraging concurrency, aggressive caching, and ahead of time compilation of Sorbonne smart contracts. So again, this is a huge deal. Scalability is the big focus here because we already know that, in the future, to really kind of future-proof these networks, we need to have maximum scalability. And then, of course, we have new SDP payment flows. Again, this is more around that Stellar disbursement platform. That is the main focus here. That disbursement platform is very crucial to focus on. Now, this will support all major enterprise payment flows and types, including crypto and fiat payments. This will allow enterprises to conduct all of their financial activities on chain, regardless of whether their counterparties use digital assets, enabling greater efficiency, transparency, and reach. And then, of course, we have improved Stellar AI Assistant. You already know the gist there. I don't think that you guys need a breakdown. And of course, more upgrades for the Freighter app. And then Lab 4.0 will deliver deep insight into transaction level simulation, debugging, and resource profiling, enabling developers to identify and resolve issues more efficiently. Again, we're seeing a big support for developers here, which is going to provide a lot more building and expansion of the ecosystem, which I'm very excited about. And we also have 2.5-second block times. Also a big upgrade around the finality, SDP single-use wallets as well. So again, the Stellar disbursement platform is seeing a lot of big upgrades. Developers are seeing a lot more ease to build on the Stellar network. We're also starting to see a lot more exposure to the mobile phone users. Just overall, we're seeing a huge upgrade for the entire network this year, which I'm very excited about, because I do think that this is going to really kind of blaze a path for a lot more adoption of Stellar, a lot more growth around Stellar. And of course, yes, I do think that this will impact XLM in a huge positive way. Now, outside of this, let's talk about Stellar being integrated within government use. So we go back to February 5th of this year, where Elon Musk proposed putting the US Treasury on blockchain for full spending transparency. Again, we've been hearing a lot regarding about transparency around blockchain-based technology, how it could improve, government spending, or, provide even taxpayers, real-time view of where their taxpayer dollars are actually going. We've been hearing about this for a while. It's not just a 2025 thing or a 2024 thing. We've been hearing about this for years and years and years, but nobody actually put it in the spotlight, just like Elon Musk is saying here. Now, this was back in February. And what we recently just got was actually from The Wired. Now, this was on March 20th. Now, I don't have a Wired subscription, so I don't have access to this article. But big shout to Subjective Views, because I'm actually going to be utilizing his thread because he outlines this perfectly. But here we actually have Danielle Dixon posting the Wired article, and she said, ask the woman who received her aid in 2 minutes, or the organization that can show donors proof that it was received, and then say it's a fake technological solution for a problem that doesn't exist. The truth is, speed, efficiency, and transparency matter. The Stellar disbursement platform and Stellar Aid Assist deliver funds in minutes versus days compared to traditional channels. The new U.S. international humanitarian assistance is making the right move. Now, here we actually have the breakdown from Subjective Views. Trump wants blockchain for aid, but will he choose a proven U.S. platform, Stellar XLM? Because again, we know that Stellar is built in the U.S., and we have here that the Trump administration wants you said on the blockchain. It feels like a fake technological solution for a problem that doesn't exist, says one expert. Who? Because it sounds like some clown said this. But we have Stellar CEO Danielle Dixon posted the Wired article a few weeks ago that provided the example of UNHCR refugees successfully running a pilot using Stellar for aid disbursement in Ukraine. Again, here we actually have that breakdown. The recent consideration of blockchain for U.S. international humanitarian assistance feels like a breakthrough moment. Critics may dismiss it as a fake technological solution for a problem that doesn't exist, But try telling that to the mother who received emergency funds in minutes instead of days, the donor who can see exactly when and where their contribution reached in destination, the field workers who spend less time on paperwork and more time helping people. I actually see this as becoming a big deal around even like GoFundMe donations, because if we could start tracking those as well, like think about how many donations are just fraudulent payments. Like how many people actually take donations and just run with the money. I think that this could be a massive game changer, and I think that Stellar is onto something here. And we actually have, since 2023, the Stellar disbursement platform and Stellar Aid Assist have quietly demonstrated what's possible. In crisis zones around the world, we've seen firsthand the speed, efficiency, and transparency aren't just nice to haves in humanitarian work, they're essential. What's been your experience and emerging technologies in humanitarian assistance? I'm interested in both the success and the challenges. Now, what's crazy about this is, we just read over the roadmap that is providing us with an insight on how the Stellar disbursement platform is going to see massive upgrades this year, which only supports this argument for Stellar to be tapped in on something like this even more. What we also have additionally mentioned in the Wired article was a memo that was circulating among State Department staff and obtained by Politico. It revealed that USAID would have to begin leveraging blockchain technology. And here we actually have, under modernized performance-based procurement, and here we have all distributions would also be secured and traced via blockchain technology to radically increase security, transparency, and traceability. This approach would encourage innovation and efficiency among implementing partners and allow for more flexible and responsive programming focused on tangible impact rather than simply completing activities and inputs. This is huge. Now, we also have dispersing aid using stablecoins on the Stellar network has been happening for a few years now. It was evident when the UNHCR partnered with Stellar and Circle for a pilot project, and now Stellar is fully integrated with a transparent network in the Ukraine. We also have down here, we know that blockchain will streamline the operations, enhance security, and ensure funds are tied directly to measurable outcomes. Wouldn't Trump want a successful American blockchain company such as Stellar to do that, especially one that is tried and tested? And listen, when we think about Stellar and the moves that they have made over the last couple of years, I mean, it's very significant. But on top of that, we also know that XLM is labeled under the USA crypto projects right here. So it makes a lot of sense for the Trump admin to tap into something like the Stellar disbursement platform for something like this, especially at the same exact time that, we're starting to see this completely leaked overall memo that's confirming that they want all distributions secured and traced via blockchain tech. And again, what's crazy about this is we already know that the impact is there. DCAF actually recently put out a post regarding this. Governments are waking up. Not all blockchains work for humanitarian aid. Only Stellar Org is delivering real impact. And so far, Stellar is the only one that actually has confirmation of this, with 12 million saved in the Ukraine, 60 million per year in projected global savings, full transparency and financial inclusion. DCAF is proud to be a recipient wallet for Stellar Assist. The future of aid is on chain and it's already here. Let's build it. So this is perfect for Stellar. And even under the Stellar Aid Assist, you could see all of, how this actually works, what they're doing here. You could also read the case studies here as well. By the way, this is what it will actually look like. This is what the platform actually looks like, where you have the company name up at the top left. You have the disbursement volume, the successful payment rate, the total dispersed, the average, and then also the recent disbursements, where you could track all of this. You could see the disbursements, the receivers, the payments, the wallets, and even the analytics around all of this. And here we actually have a turnkey bulk disbursement platform where you could learn more. You could look into all of this. I mean, everything around this is front and center. They've been building this for a while now, and it just makes a lot of sense for something like Stellar to be tapped in here. Now, the big question is, will they use Stellar? We don't know. All right, we just don't know. But one thing is clear is that Stellar is going above and beyond with all of their upgrades coming this year. We'll see what happens. But it looks as though XLM is really kind of in for a very big 2025. I think that we're going to start to see positive price action in the space in a little bit. I think that we have to just, get through a little bit more chop. But I still think that 2025 is going to be a huge year for crypto and just overall adoption, especially now that we have governments embracing this technology in a huge way, realizing the benefits of it, and also realizing the savings that blockchain can also provide as well. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe, to notifications on because of more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord in the description below. And with that being said, guys, it's been Nick. Thanks for watching. Peace out.